Welcome back to the Non-Stop Professional Sports Channel on YouTube. Welcome back to Swivel Chair Sports. I'm your host, Sex Mark Burkle. Here's the ghost today, Aaron. Go ahead and say hi, Aaron. Alright, please make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoy our content. Other than that, let's go ahead and get into it. So, in this video, we'll be talking about the Buffalo Bills and what the heck they should do from here after losing for the third straight time to Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. Once again, their season has been ended at the hands of the best in the world. So there's no shame in that. No shame in that whatsoever. But it's definitely time to look in the mirror and try to figure out how to improve. Because just every single year you seem to be running into that same brick wall. And it's time to change that, okay, Buffalo? It's time to change. So, starting off, fire the head coach. Sean McDermott, got to go. Good DC, not a good head coach. Can't get you over the hump, nothing against him. He gets you to the playoffs, that's great. Everybody, any head coach in worth their salt should be able to get you to the playoffs with Josh Allen at quarterback. What a head coach worth their salt shouldn't do is start the season off 6-6 with Josh Allen at their quarterback. So that's what I would do. Number one, get rid of McDermott. Number two, Stephon Diggs. Probably kind of a little sick and tired of the tension between him and the team. Are you not? I would be personally. Maybe look to trade him somewhere, try to get a draft pick for him, because I don't think you're going to be able to get like another good player, but maybe you can get like a second for Stephon Diggs. Had a little bit of a rough year. He's definitely on the decline. He's getting older, so it's nothing to worry about. You know, it's just time to move on. That's all. Gabe Davis is a free agent. I would sign him back. Bring him back. I don't think he's capable of being a number one. You can draft a number one. But I think Gabe Davis is a really solid number two. You got Shakir as well, who can be a really good number two. So those two be your 2 and 3. Draft a number one maybe this season if you can. It's a pretty deep receiver class. There's a lot of good ones out there, you know. Number 3, somehow you got to get rid of Von Miller's contract. I don't know how you do it, but it's got to go. The dude is on a walker out there. Before the ACL injury, he was really, really good still. After the ACL injury, he moves like a beached whale. So you got to move off of Von Miller, somehow get off of his contract. Again, it's no shame to him. He's just finally starting to get up there in age. It's time for him to maybe ride off into the sunset. So I don't know. Aside from all that, I don't really know where you go other than if you don't do those 3 things right there, I don't know where you go from here, to be honest, because you can't come back and do the same exact thing. You do the same exact thing over and over again, expecting different results. You know what they call that? They call it insanity. So something's got to change this offseason. It's time for change now. Aaron? What do you think Buffalo's got to do?
I think we're in agreement on at least one of the matters. That game against Kansas City, it felt kind of like McDermott. Well, I don't necessarily know that it was all him. Maybe some other people had some input. That going for it on a fake punt on your own side of the field was just absolutely not the right call.
Bold.
Absolutely not the right call without Josh Allen.
Yeah.
It wasn't the right call anyway, but it was absolutely not the right call without Josh Allen. So it felt like he's kind of pushing it and not necessarily going with the flow of the game, but maybe fighting against it a little bit, trying to force the issue a little bit too much.
Yeah.
So I think it might be time for a change there. Granted, you got to balance. You know, this guy's guaranteed to, and he's brought you success in the past. Do you want to risk maybe somebody else with an unproven track record, or bringing in a whole new system might change everything? Who knows? But I think if you want to win a Super Bowl, you might have to try something new.
Yeah. What do you think of the tension between Stephon Diggs and the rest of the team this season? The seeming, and that's perceived tension. I don't want to speak for anybody on the Bills because I don't know exactly what was going on there. But there was definitely some perceived tension between Stephon Diggs and the rest of the roster this season. At the very least, between Stephon Diggs and the coaching staff, or Stephon Diggs and Josh Allen. But there was some sort of tension there somewhere with Stephon. Um, and he's kind of got a history of doing that. Obviously, that's a big reason why he was traded from Minnesota to Buffalo in the first place. So, you come to Buffalo, you have that elite level quarterback throwing to you. You think it's all going to be peaches and cream. What do you think's caused this disintegration in relationship?
Well, to be fair, I don't think this is the first um, time we've seen this perceived tension between whether it's him and Josh Allen, him and the coaching staff, him and other teammates, whatever. I'm pretty sure we saw it at the end of last season as well. Um, but my kind of thought on it is winning cures all. You
Yeah,
know, um, and you kind of want your star receiver to maybe not be a diva, but want the ball. They're you should expect to get the ball, thrown your way when you're the number one target.
right, right.
So I don't necessarily think that him asking, for more involvement on the offense is um, a bad thing, but maybe the frustrations boil over a bit at times and things get said. I don't know what the problem is, but um, I think he's a good player. He is getting older, but um, I don't know. I think you got to really ask Josh Allen. You don't. He's probably the last guy you want to piss off.
Yeah,
So if
that's
he
true.
if he really has a good rapport with him and wants him around, I think you kind of got to keep him around.
Yeah, I mean, I guess my only argument to that would be the rapport seems like it's not there like it used to be. Uh, he seems to have a really good rapport with Shakir this year. Had a really good rapport with Kincaid this year. But him and Diggs seem to get further or further away from each other throughout as the year went on. Like Diggs started off the season, I think 7 out of his first 8 games he had 100 yards receiving or something like that, and then he didn't have another 100 yard receiving game after that. So I feel like something
Right, but
happened.
when you kind of got to look at it like this is they struggled those the first half of the season, right? And then they
True,
finished winning
true.
six straight. So
That's true.
him, whether it's him drawing attention or being less, I don't know if selfish is the word, but um, maybe less involved, not getting as many targets, whatever you want
Well, they
to
just
call it.
they threw the ball like 10% less in period too. So it was just a complete change in offensive identity from a pass heavy offense to a 50-50 offense.
Well, whatever the change was, it worked
Yeah,
until it didn't.
yeah.
So
Well, I mean, yeah, I
and it
mean,
damn near worked then too.
yeah. No, that's true. I mean, in my opinion, you got to bring back Gabe Davis. I'm sure you probably agree with me there. Am I wrong to
I
assume
don't
that?
know.
You don't
I
know?
don't know.
Yeah.
I'm
I
not
like.
as sold on Gabe Davis as you are. I don't think.
Yeah.
I mean, I think he's fine. He's a fine too, but if he's going to cost you a bunch of money, I think you can get somebody else,
That's fair.
just as good.
Yeah, it's going to come down to the money with him. If he's affordable, I think they should try to keep him. Uh, is there any way they can get off Von Miller's contract? Like, I don't see a team willing to trade for him with that contract. Like, I'm not sure exactly what it is. I
I
can look it
think
up
he's
off
got
the
to
top of my
show
head.
flashes. I don't know if he's just struggled getting back into football shape this year. With coming off of the ACL rehab and whatnot. Um, but I don't see. I'm sure there is somebody that would take him on like a team expecting to make a playoff push and are struggling a bit uh, getting pressure to the quarterback. I'm sure some team next year might pick him up around the deadline, just because of his name alone. But it's a big contract for that
It
age.
is. It is. They do have a potential out in 2025 from the looks of it. It would cost them 15.5 million in dead cap if they waive him. But that saves you, that saves you 3 more years and like over $50 million total. So I'd be surprised to see Von Miller on the Buffalo Bills in 2025. If he does come back next season, I would imagine that's probably his last year in Buffalo, whether he gets traded or he gets waived. Because with the
Especially if it's a new coach.
yeah, and I mean with the lack of production he's put up since that ACL injury, I don't see them being willing to pay him $20 million a year. $20 million in 2020. So he'd be owed 17 mil in 2025 if they don't waive him, and then 20 mil in 2026, and then 30 mil in 2027. I don't see him being on
Yeah.
the Bills till that point. Um, and the earlier you can get off him, in my opinion, the better. Because I don't know how you would. I don't know if there's a team out there that'd be willing to pick up his contract for that last year, like next year being the last year, and then waive him after that for maybe some draft compensation. Like maybe the Bills have to add a pick on top of Von Miller to get out of it. Um, Maybe that's something they look at. They probably want to do that before the free agency period. That way they can use that cap space to actually bring someone in. Um, but I mean, I think that's a tall order. Trades in the NFL are hard to come by. So
Yeah.
we'll see. Anything else you have to add? All right. Well, in that case, I think that'll do it for this episode of the most unprofessional sports channel on YouTube, Swivel Chair Sports. I've been your host, Zach Circleberg Burkle, here with my co-host today, Aaron. Go and say bye, Aaron.
Bye.
All right. Please make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this. Other than that, deuces.